ਫੈਡਰਲ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਹਫਤਾਵਾਰੀ ਕਾਕਸ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ ਮਾਮਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਮੇਲਾਨੀ ਜੋਲੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸੰਸਦ ਹਿਲ ਤੇ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੂਸ ਤੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਹਮਲੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਬਾਰੇ ਚਰਚਾ ਕੀਤੀ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਐਕਟ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਤੇ ਚਰਚਾ ਕੀਤੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਅਲ ਕਬਰਾ ਵੀ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਰਹੇ।
Well, first and foremost, we've been able to, yes, make sure to impose strong sanctions. We've been also able to make sure that there would not be any form of imports from Russia. So we know also that some vessels had to change course because of the fact that there were clear sanctions against companies and individuals that were linked to Putin's regime. That being said, we know that there was a weakest link in our sanctions package, which was the ability for the government to be able to sell the assets that were seized and afterwards to use the profits and to compensate the victims of this war against Ukraine. And so that's why we wanted to show leadership here in the country, but also around the world. And we're the first G7 country to bring up this new power because we think this will go a long way. So what we've done is when there is a sanction, then the assets are not able to be disposed. They lose their entire value. And so that was the regime that was in place, that was the Magnitsky Act that was in place and the SEMA legislation, but we knew that we needed to go further, so that's why we're using the Budget Implementation Act to go further. Well, I don't have a clear estimation. I just know that the assets of Russian oligarchs in Canada are substantial. What I can say, though, is we know that Russian oligarchs tend to be in other jurisdictions than Canada, particularly in Europe, because of the close proximity and because of their family links, usually that are more in Europe or sometimes in the United States. And so that's why we want to be able to bring this initiative to the table to other G7 countries because we think it will have even greater impact. Be able to reopen Canada's embassy in Ukraine. We're looking at different scenarios. I'll have more to say in the coming days. I had the chance to talk with Secretary Blinken yesterday, and definitely we're looking at what our counterparts in the US are doing, what our counterparts in the UK also are doing. Our goal is to make sure that our staff is safe. Meanwhile, our staff is right now positioned in the southern part of Poland, and so we want to make sure also that they continue to help Canadians that would be in Ukraine. But my goal also is to increase Canada's way of supporting Canadians that are in Ukraine and help also Ukrainian authorities that are sitting at the negotiation. So my colleague, the Minister of Defense, Anita Anand, is the specialist on that, and she's very good in procurement as well. So based on that, she would be able to provide you all the information. That being said, what Canada is definitely supportive of is sending heavy artillery to Ukraine. And we've been pushing that through NATO. When I was there 2 weeks ago, this is something that we raised at the G7 and at NATO. And also we want to make sure that there's better coordination